Welcome to our examination of watermelon and citrulline powder. In this talk, we're going to compare the natural whole food source of citrulline with the concentrated supplement form that many athletes use. You will learn why serious lifters care about nitric oxide boosting ingredients, how watermelon fits into the picture, and whether a powder really offers an advantage. Think of this as a friendly competition between real food and science-backed convenience. By the end, you will have the knowledge to choose what makes sense for your goals and lifestyle. The big question on many people's minds is whether you can simply eat or drink more watermelon instead of buying a citrulline supplement. On the surface, it feels like a win-win. You get a delicious fruit and the same nitric oxide benefit. In this presentation, we pit the two head-to-head. We will look at how much citrulline you actually get from watermelon, what human studies say about performance, and how the two options compare on convenience. Get ready for a nuanced answer, because as you will see, dose and practicality matter. You might have heard people claim that watermelon is just as good as any supplement for boosting nitric oxide. That sounds appealing, but is it true? Marketing can create myths around foods and supplements, so we dug into the biochemistry and the human trials to separate fact from fiction. Throughout this talk, we will lean on scientific evidence rather than hype, highlighting where natural food really shines and where a supplement actually has an edge. To understand the debate, you need to know what happens inside your body. L-citrulline is an amino acid that is converted into L-arginine in your kidneys. Arginine is then used by enzymes called nitric oxide synthase to produce nitric oxide. This simple gas acts as a signaling molecule. It relaxes blood vessels and improves circulation. Taking citrulline bypasses some of the digestive breakdown that arginine undergoes, which is why it is popular in supplements. Without this conversion, there is no nitric oxide boost, so both food and powder rely on the same biochemical pathway. Nitric oxide has several important roles in your vascular system. It activates an enzyme that produces cyclic guanosine monophosphate, or cGMP, which tells smooth muscle cells in your vessel walls to relax. When they relax, the vessel dilates, increasing blood flow and lowering resistance. This enhanced circulation delivers more oxygen and nutrients to working muscles. Nitric oxide also inhibits vasoconstrictor substances and reduces platelet adhesion, which helps keep blood vessels open and healthy. These effects underpin the interest in citrulline for both performance and cardiovascular support. So why do strength athletes and gym goers talk about citrulline? Enhanced blood flow during training leads to that coveted muscle pump, a feeling of fullness that many lifters associate with productive workouts. Improved circulation may allow you to sustain higher training volumes and delay the onset of fatigue by clearing metabolic waste more efficiently. Some evidence suggests better nutrient delivery could support endurance capacity during repeated bouts of effort. While the magnitude of these benefits is modest, the combination makes nitric oxide boosters attractive to people looking to maximize every session. Citrulline's effects are not confined to the weight room. Scientists and clinicians have studied it for its potential to support vascular health and endothelial function. By increasing nitric oxide availability, citrulline may contribute to lower blood pressure and improved arterial flexibility. Enhanced circulation can also aid recovery after intense exercise by delivering nutrients and removing byproducts. These broader health benefits are part of the reason people consider citrulline even if they are not chasing a bigger pump. Citrulline was first isolated from watermelon, and the fruit remains the most recognizable natural source. The rind and flesh both contain this amino acid, though the highest concentrations are often in the white rind. Eating or juicing watermelon provides citrulline alongside plenty of water, natural sugars, and electrolytes such as potassium. You also get vitamins, antioxidants, and other phytonutrients that contribute to general health. It is a refreshing and hydrating food, which is why many athletes love it on hot training days. Whole foods bring more to the table than a single ingredient. In watermelon, you are not just consuming citrulline, also getting potassium, which supports muscle contraction, and carbohydrates that can top up your energy stores before a workout. Antioxidants and polyphenols in the flesh and rind may assist recovery by combating oxidative stress. These synergistic nutrients make watermelon a valuable part of a balanced diet. However, natural variability means that citrulline content depends on the cultivar and ripeness of the fruit. Getting an ergogenic dose requires fairly large portions, which means additional calories and sugar along with the amino acid. The difference between whole food and supplements becomes clear when you look at numbers. Most performance studies use gram-level doses of isolated L-citrulline. By contrast, typical watermelon juice contains a little over 2 grams of citrulline per liter. A half-liter glass provides just over 1 gram, which is far below the 6-gram target used in many trials. To make things more complicated, the natural content of citrulline varies widely from fruit to fruit, so you cannot be sure how much you are ingesting without laboratory testing. When researchers evaluate citrulline for sports performance, they generally use about 6 grams of L-citrulline or 6 to 8 grams of citrulline malate. These amounts appear to reliably increase plasma arginine and nitric oxide more than lower doses. Freeze-dried watermelon powders and concentrates aim to bridge the gap between whole fruit and supplements by delivering higher citrulline levels in a food form. Even so, the convenience of a powder means you can achieve the research-supported dose without having to consume liters of juice. To put the numbers into perspective, if your juice contains a little over 2 grams of citrulline per liter, you would need more than 2.5 liters to reach a 6-gram dose. That is roughly 10 cups of liquid. Drinking that much volume before a workout is impractical for most people and would likely lead to stomach discomfort and frequent trips to the bathroom. This simple calculation illustrates why whole foods alone cannot match supplement dosing in a realistic setting. Not all watermelons are created equal. The citrulline concentration can differ due to genetics and cultivar. Some varieties store more in the rind. Levels also change as the fruit ripens and during storage. The rind tends to have higher concentrations than the red pulp, which typically contains around 40 to 160 milligrams per 100 grams. Processing methods such as juicing or making a puree can alter how much citrulline ends up in your glass. A common serving of about 300 grams yields less than a gram of citrulline, so relying on a single slice to hit a research dose is unrealistic. Consuming more than 2.5 liters of juice comes with drawbacks. The sheer volume may cause gastrointestinal distress, bloating, and an uncomfortable feeling during exercise. It also delivers a large amount of natural sugar, roughly 2 to 300 grams, which can spike your blood glucose right before training. Frequent bathroom breaks and the variability of citrulline content from batch to batch make large volumes inconsistent as well. These practical issues are why many athletes turn to a scoop of powder instead. Citrulline powders offer a straightforward solution. Each scoop contains a precise 6-gram dose of L-citrulline or 6 to 8 grams of citrulline malate, depending on the product. You only need a small amount of water to mix it, avoiding the discomfort of drinking liters of juice. Unlike whole fruit, these products are virtually free of sugar and calories, so they fit easily into a variety of diet plans. When you are looking to replicate research protocols in your training, the convenience and accuracy of supplements are hard to beat. One of the biggest advantages of supplement powders is their reliability. You can take the same dose every time, eliminating guesswork about how much citrulline you are actually consuming. They are quick to mix with water and require no prep or cleanup beyond shaking a bottle. They are also easy to carry in a gym bag, making them ideal for busy schedules. Many athletes also like to stack citrulline with creatine, beta-alanine, or other ingredients, which is straightforward when using powders. When you weigh up the pros and cons, both options have something to offer. Watermelon delivers hydration, micronutrients, and a pleasant eating experience, but its citrulline content is unpredictable and low. Supplements provide a consistent, research-aligned dose with minimal effort but lack the additional nutrients of whole fruit. Ultimately, your choice depends on whether you prioritize nutritional synergy and enjoyment or precise dosing and convenience. You do not have to choose one exclusively. Many people enjoy watermelon as part of their diet and use citrulline powder when training demands it. There are situations where reaching for a slice or a glass of watermelon juice is a great idea. If you are looking to hydrate, replenish electrolytes, and consume antioxidants, watermelon is hard to beat. On light training days or as a refreshing snack, it offers carbohydrates and micronutrients that support general health. For people who prefer a food-first approach or enjoy whole fruits for their own sake, watermelon fits perfectly into a balanced diet. It can also provide a modest amount of citrulline to complement other dietary sources. For intense workouts where you want to maximize blood flow and muscle pumps, a supplement is usually the better option. Powder gives you a reliable 6-gram dose without forcing you to drink large volumes of juice. If you need consistent dosing across training sessions or stacking citrulline with creatine or beta-alanine, a pre-workout formula makes the process simple. Supplements are also helpful for those who are watching their carbohydrate intake or experience digestive discomfort from high-volume beverages. If you decide to use citrulline, pay attention to timing and quantity. For athletic performance, a typical recommendation is 6 grams of L-citrulline, taken about 30 to 60 minutes before training. Citrulline malate products often provide 6 to 8 grams per serving. Check whether the ratio is 2 to 1 or 1 to 1 to know how much actual citrulline you are getting. Smaller daily doses around 3 to 4 grams may support vascular health in people who are not exercising intensely. Combining your supplement with a brief warm-up can improve blood flow and help your body utilize it effectively. Citrulline supplementation is most likely to benefit lifters seeking a stronger pump and greater training volume, endurance athletes looking for improved vascular support, and individuals whose diets are low in citrulline-rich foods. Older adults who want to support vascular function may also find modest benefits. On the other hand, people expecting dramatic strength gains will be disappointed, because citrulline primarily influences blood flow rather than muscle contractility. Those who already consume plenty of fruits and vegetables may not need extra citrulline. Anyone who dislikes powders or is on medications for blood pressure, nitrates, or erectile dysfunction should consult a healthcare professional before using citrulline to avoid potential interactions. It is easy to fall for myths around nitric oxide boosters. One common misconception is that eating watermelon provides the same ergogenic dose as taking a supplement. In reality, the amounts are nowhere near equivalent unless you consume impractical volumes. Another myth is that more citrulline automatically means bigger gains. The evidence shows that benefits are modest and plateau beyond certain doses. Some people also believe supplements are unnatural or unsafe, but citrulline powders contain the same amino acid found in watermelon, just in a concentrated form. The fact is that citrulline can support blood flow when used correctly, but it is not a magic potion and should be viewed as one piece of a comprehensive training and nutrition plan. In summary, watermelon is a tasty source of L-citrulline that brings hydration, carbohydrates, vitamins, and antioxidants to the table. However, its citrulline content is unpredictable, and the volumes needed to match research doses are impractical for most athletes. Supplements deliver a precise 6-gram dose with minimal sugar and volume, making them more practical for targeted use. The best approach is to enjoy watermelon for its health and enjoyment value while using citrulline powder when you need accuracy and convenience. Watermelon and citrulline supplements are not mutually exclusive, they simply serve different purposes. The fruit offers real food nutrition and hydration, while the powder provides a practical way to achieve the doses used in research. The performance evidence for citrulline is mixed. It can enhance blood flow and support endurance, but does not transform your strength overnight. Choose based on your goals. If you value nutrition and flavor, lean on whole foods. If you prioritize a controlled dose for a workout pump, use a supplement. Remember that training quality, diet, and recovery remain the foundation of progress. Citrulline is generally well tolerated, but there are a few things to keep in mind. Because it can lower blood pressure slightly, people who are already on blood pressure medication should monitor their levels and consult a healthcare provider before supplementation. Combining citrulline with nitrates or medications for erectile dysfunction could lead to excessive vasodilation, so medical advice is essential in those cases. Drinking very large volumes of watermelon juice may cause gastrointestinal discomfort and spikes in blood sugar. If you have cardiovascular or kidney conditions, or if you are pregnant or nursing, speak to a healthcare professional before adding citrulline supplements to your routine. The final message is simple. Enjoy watermelon as part of a balanced diet for its hydration, nutrients, and modest citrulline content. Use a citrulline powder when you need dose precision and convenience for your workouts. Neither option should be overhyped. At the end of the day, consistent training, good nutrition, and adequate recovery are what drive long-term progress. Supplements can support those efforts but cannot replace them.